The poop.
REI cited crime and theft as reasons for the closure. They said last year, even with increased security, they had their highest number of break-ins and thefts. They also noted that their lease expires in February, saying they had, quote, outgrown the location.
Which is unfortunate, especially REI. It's like a hub over here,
Chris Ham is a manager at Oregon's Finest, a marijuana dispensary down the street. He's watched a lot of Pearl District businesses close. He'd like to see things get better, but doesn't think he's seen the worst.
Whether you're very conservative or very liberal, at some point everybody just gets fed up. At some point they're going to hit a wall and they're like, we're going to have to do something, right? It's going to reach a fever pitch and it's just, you got to do something about it.
City leaders and Portland police have been working with REI for several months to address crime and safety issues. In a statement to KGW, the mayor's office said, Mayor Wheeler is committed to further supporting REI to help ensure we retain their business in Portland and help them succeed. All options are on the table as we explore paths forward.
I think that we have our job cut out in front of us.
Thomas Gilpatrick is a professor of marketing at PSU. He says when people invest in new retail, they do an incredible amount of research. Closures like this will factor into that.
So you're really betting on the future when you invest into a new retail store. So what this is really sending a message to all of us in Portland that Portland looks not as attractive as we have in the past.
Yeah, for the poop.
Open use of hard drugs like crystal meth or synthetic opioid fentanyl isn't currently a criminal offence here. Back in 2020, voters backed a revolutionary change in how it approached drugs.
Oh, don't go hiding it now.
So-called Measure 110 meant that police couldn't arrest people for drug use, but would nudge them into treatment. Care instead of punishment was the aim.
We're going to give you a ticket here. You got to call this phone number. See this thing right here? You call this phone number, and then they're going to ask you if you want drug treatment. And then all you have to do is say yes or no, and then they'll make the ticket go away.
They're fine. I already checked on them. There's a guy around the corner, same thing.
But police say almost no users actually call the number, and the inability to arrest people meant drug use grew alarmingly fast in the past 3 years.
Because the baseline condition of life is something like unbearable suffering. And what you have to set against that is a noble and worthwhile purpose. And hopefully your determination of that purpose is buttressed to some degree by the wisdom of the past, because you can't conjure something like that up on your own. And if you provide people with nobility of purpose, then they can tolerate the suffering of existence without becoming entirely corrupted by it. And cultures that don't do that, it isn't even so much that they die, it's that cultures that don't do that are dead. They're done.
Yeah, for the poop.